This is some of the best lion country in the world. We are in the eastern Serengeti with a very famous lion, Bob Jr. 20 kilometers away is the Barafu tribe, and early this morning, a female is flirting outrageously with the pride male. He's interested, and he's not going to move far. In fact, he doesn't want her to go anywhere. He's going to stick to her, be with her, and even run with her when necessary. They're sniffing and smelling each other's scent to arouse themselves. The rest of the pride are busy finishing a wildebeest. They've killed it an hour ago, and only a few hundred meters from the courting pair. The lioness is alert, looking all over to see who's coming next. The big male has seen them, and this changes everything. He is now rushing to the food. He's forgotten about his flirtation. The rest of the pride scatter on his arrival. He is the king. The lioness tries desperately to appease him and to be with him while he's on the carcass. But he will have none of it. He has seized the carcass, and now he is going to feast and alone. He probably thinks the lioness and her cubs have already had their fill, and this is now his moment. The behavior of a pride around a kill is always fascinating. The adult lionesses are all over the place. The cubs are there. They have to be very careful of the pride male because he's feeding and eating, and there can be serious conflict if he's interfered with. Way in the distance, something distracts them. I think they're two wildebeest moving. They're all up and about, but only for a moment. Now the female is even back after all her flirtations, and this is the greeting between the adult lionesses. They must have been away for a day or two. they will all slowly settle down and watch the pride male feasting. As he eats, they get more and more restless, and they will inch closer. The lioness will try her level best to get into that kill. But the lion watches them carefully and glares at them. Cub behavior around the kill is very much full of fun, cuddling, licking, but they are getting hungry. They are crowding the lion, and he is not going to like this one bit. He charges the female. He's not going to tolerate any interference in his eating process. They have to wait. Again, patience is a virtue. They get closer and closer, tightening the circle around the kill. But it's the cubs who have now inched in, and they are sitting right behind the lion. They have no fear of their big dad. The lionesses are fearful, but the cubs are playing. And even though one adult lioness will try and inch right towards the male lion, they will keep a distance. They cannot afford the risk of being slapped and getting clawed. The cubs are slowly approaching. They are the ones who are coming in first. One of the cubs has reached the carcass and is happily feeding on all the bits and pieces around the carcass. The big lion is not at all bothered because he believes the cubs are only going to take little morsels of this feast. The cub and the lion feast, but the lionesses are still edging closer. He still doesn't tolerate them coming too close, and the cubs are getting kicked around as he jumps them. But they are going to be the buffer between the lionesses and the flesh and meat they want to feast on. Everybody is waiting for their turn. As the lionesses inch closer and closer, the cubs are pulling on the bones and the scraps of meat around, and in the end, they're carrying it back to their mothers. Slowly, they're all going to be nibbling on something or the other. It's remarkable. The cubs are taking bits of bone back to their mothers because the mothers can't reach the carcass. They are fearful of the big male. But the cubs are least bothered. This time around, it's the little cub who's angry with his papa, and he tries to smack his face and snarl at him. The cubs, in a way, have taken the tension away, and slowly the lion is accepting not just them, but the proximity of the lionesses to the kill, and soon they will all be on it. One of the lionesses is nearly in position and about to reach an inch towards the carcass. The cubs are way ahead. They are pretty much feeding with the male lion now. It's been nearly 2 hours of watching and waiting and inching forward for the lionesses towards what's left over of this wildebeest. An incredible game of patience. The cubs are now all feeding, the lionesses are having their bits and finally reaching the carcass. Very soon the big male lion will walk away. He's eaten his full. Hours later, the courting pair is back to its outrageous flirting. But this time around, the male is getting seriously interested. Another day in the life of these Serengeti lions slowly comes to an end.